The NFL just chose the Bad Bunny Rabbit or whatever his name is.
I never heard of him. I don't know who he is. I don't know why they're doing it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar. If you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn.
He's never shied away from using his fame to call out Trump's immigration moves, even mocking him straight up in his videos. It started like any other headline drop, but this one flipped the internet upside down. Within hours, America was in the middle of a brand new culture war, and it all kicked off right on the 50-yard line. The NFL had just announced that Bad Bunny, the global hitmaker from Puerto Rico with over 80 million Spotify listeners, would headline the next Super Bowl halftime show. The reaction? Instant chaos. The timeline split faster than a kickoff. One half celebrating a massive cultural win, the other claiming it was the downfall of real American entertainment. Commentators on X, formerly Twitter, went wild. You had political voices losing it on camera, saying the show would be un-American because most of Bad Bunny's songs are in Spanish. Cable hosts complained kids wouldn't even understand the lyrics. And by sunrise, hashtags like Boycott Bad Bunny and Real American Halftime were blowing up everywhere. This wasn't just a backlash, it was an identity crisis dressed in glitter and Wi-Fi. The whole internet turned into a battlefield of opinions, and just when people thought the outrage hit its peak, the plot twist dropped like a mic. If you can't cancel the Super Bowl, you compete with it. Then came the unexpected challenger, Turning Point USA. The conservative group, once led by the late Charlie Kirk and now run by his widow Erica Kirk, decided they weren't about to let the NFL steal the spotlight. Just days after the Super Bowl announcement, they revealed their own plan, an all-American halftime show set to air at the exact same time as Bad Bunny's performance. Their slogan, faith, family, and freedom. But the message behind it was crystal clear. No reggaeton, no Spanish, no Bad Bunny. The internet didn't know whether to laugh, cringe, or start a new meme thread. The announcement looked like performance art wrapped in a flag. Bold fonts, fireworks, eagles, and enough red, white, and blue to light up a campaign rally. Fans were instantly asking the obvious, where's this even gonna air? Then Turning Point USA dropped a website poll that went viral for all the wrong reasons. Under the music genre, options like pop and country sat one unforgettable phrase, anything in English. Within minutes, social media turned it into a joke fest. Quote tweets were everywhere. Anything in English? You mean literally the language? One viral post roasted the whole thing, saying, this isn't a concert, it's a citizenship test. People couldn't ignore the irony either. Puerto Rico is part of the United States, meaning Bad Bunny is literally an American artist. But conservative leaders doubled down anyway. House Speaker Mike Johnson claimed the NFL should have gone with Lee Greenwood, the 82-year-old behind God Bless the USA, and Trump. He called Bad Bunny a ridiculous choice, before admitting he's never even heard of him. Then South Dakota's Governor Kristi Noem jumped in, hinting that ICE agents would be all over that place, turning outrage into pure marketing madness. By the end of the week, it wasn't even about football anymore. It became a heated debate over language, identity, and who truly gets to take center stage when the entire nation's eyes are glued to the screen. But just when the uproar started to cool off, things took a wild detour, straight from political theater to a full-blown internet circus. Late one Sunday night, a flashy flyer started spreading across X and Facebook, claiming to show the official lineup for Turning Point USA's rival halftime show. The image promised an all-American roster featuring Kid Rock, Jason Aldean, Ted Nugent, and Travis Tritt, plus one special guest that made jaws drop, measles. Yes, measles. The screenshots exploded online like fireworks. One user screamed, "They really booked measles?" While another joked, "So this halftime show also comes with a fever?" Within hours, the fake flyer had been shared by hundreds of right-wing influencers who thought it was real. Conservative commentators cheered that real Americans finally got their own halftime show. Meanwhile, meme accounts had an absolute field day. They started editing the flyer with captions like, "Sponsored by Hand Sanitizer Live," and featuring the Germ Squad. The internet was fully locked into what people started calling the patriotic fan fiction era. But here's where it got even crazier. The flyer was totally fake. It wasn't made by Turning Point at all. It was AI generated, full of typos, weird fonts, and even misspelled artist names. It was chaos, confusion, and comedy all rolled into one viral mess. The fake flyer was so wild it even listed 4 Gelato Blow as 4GGA. Complete nonsense that screamed, "Made on Canva" at 3 a.m. Still, the chaos spread so fast that major news outlets had to jump in. Independent Whiskey Riff, Hindustan Times, and others rushed to confirm that no official lineup had been announced, not even close. Even conservative influencer Jack Posobiec, one of Turning Point USA's loudest defenders, had to step up and post a clarification. No artists have been announced yet. But by then, the rumor had already done its damage. Or maybe it's magic. Turning Point's name was trending nationwide, sitting right next to Bad Bunny's. But here's where things got even messier. Instead of shutting the story down, Turning Point USA leaned straight into the chaos. Their social pages started reposting memes about the fake show and even quoted fans saying they couldn't wait for the performance. The official account joined in too, teasing, "Performers and details coming soon. No corrections, no denials, just more gasoline on the fire." And the move worked like a charm. Engagement went through the roof. Supporters treated it as confirmation that something big was coming, while critics couldn't stop laughing at the absurdity. Either way, everyone was talking about the so-called All-American halftime show. By the end of the day, it wasn't even about music or politics anymore. It was about optics. A blurry, AI-generated image had turned into one of the biggest viral moments online. It was a digital bonfire that burned across every platform. And in the end, there was only one real winner: attention itself. But trust me, that was just the beginning of the madness. If this insider scoop already has you whisper screaming for more, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Now, let's dive back in. Because once the dust from that fake flyer finally settled, the real guessing game exploded. If Kid Rock and Ted Nugent weren't actually on the lineup, then who was? Music blogs turned into digital detectives overnight, dropping theories like confetti. Country outlets started posting wish lists of who might fit the All-American vibe. And honestly, these lineups sounded like the soundtrack to a 4th of July barbecue. Carrie Underwood, Jason Aldean, Zach Bryan, Lee Greenwood, Creed, and of course, Kid Rock himself. Each name said something different about what Turning Point wanted this show to represent. Carrie Underwood brought the polish, America's country sweetheart with a voice big enough to fill stadiums. But fans instantly caught the irony. She's literally the face of the NFL's Sunday Night Football theme. Performing at Turning Point's rival halftime show would be like singing for Pepsi while holding a Coke. Risky doesn't even begin to cover it. Then came Zach Bryan, the Oklahoma rebel shaking up Nashville. His latest track, Bad News, had already stirred tension in conservative circles, especially since he mentioned ICE agents in a way that didn't exactly flatter them. When he dropped a teaser for the song on Instagram, Governor Kristi Noem herself blasted him for being disrespectful. So now, the question burned hotter than ever. Who would actually take that stage? Because at this point, the rumors weren't just about music anymore. They were a culture war wrapped in a set list. Bryan clapped back saying he loved America, but wasn't on either radical side. Fans instantly took that as code for "stop using me in your culture war." But even after he said his piece, his name just wouldn't disappear. Maybe because he's one of the few artists both sides of the political spectrum try to claim as their own, a rare middle ground voice in a country split down the middle. Then came the obvious name on everyone's list, Jason Aldean. His track, Try That in a Small Town, had turned into an anthem for conservative America, sparking endless debates across the internet. Booking him for the All-American halftime show would have been a statement in itself. A musical middle finger to everything the traditional Super Bowl halftime show stands for. To his fans, he's bold and unshakable. To critics, he's controversial and unapologetic. Either way, he's headline material, no question. But then, Creed entered the chat. The wild card comeback nobody saw coming. Their reunion tour had already gone viral, and their whole with arms wide open energy fit that faith, family, freedom theme almost too perfectly. Imagine it, Scott Stapp belting on stage under red, white, and blue fireworks while bald eagles soar across the sky. It basically writes itself. And here's the twist. The deeper people dug, the clearer it became. Turning Point didn't even need a lineup yet. The suspense was the show. Every theory, every meme, every tweet became part of the hype machine. Every argument online turned their All-American halftime concept into a massive viral event before a single note was even played. By now, even the skeptics had to admit it. Turning Point USA had flipped outrage into pure marketing genius, but nobody was ready for what came next. While conservatives kept debating which country stars should headline their All-American halftime show, Bad Bunny was out here winning the game without even trying. The more his critics tried to label him un-American, the more he became the walking symbol of modern pop culture. Global reach, swagger, and zero apologies. Then came his Saturday Night Live monologue that broke the internet. With a sly grin, he told viewers in Spanish, "You have 4 months to learn the language before the Super Bowl." That clip exploded across social media overnight. Pop Crave reposted it, and the comment section turned into a war zone. Some fans called it confidence, others said arrogance, but everyone was talking about it. His streams shot up, his name topped every trending chart, and suddenly the outrage that was supposed to silence him had turned into his biggest promo campaign ever. Meanwhile, Turning Point USA's so-called All-American halftime show still had nothing. No stage, no lineup, no confirmed network. Just a website poll and a promise, yet somehow it was everywhere. Trending hashtags, YouTube commentary, memes, and debates on talk shows. The event didn't even need to exist to blow up. It just needed to spark conversation. The rumor mill kept spinning, the speculations got juicier, and every new headline about Bad Bunny's disrespect only drove more traffic his way. Both sides were feeding off the same storm. One built on culture wars, the other built on pure confidence, and Bad Bunny, he was sitting comfortably at the center of it all. People rushed straight to Turning Point USA's site. But hold up, because this is where everything got messy. Once politics steps into pop culture, nobody walks away clean. What started as a simple scheduling stunt had turned into a full-blown showdown over who really gets to define American art. At its core, this debate wasn't about a halftime show. It was about control, language, identity, and belonging. Each side claimed they were defending real culture, but both were playing the same game. Outrage. Bad Bunny didn't even have to respond. He let the numbers do the talking. Every sold-out ticket, every chart-topping stream, and every meme that got reposted proved one thing. People weren't buying the division anymore. For millions of fans, his bilingual success wasn't a threat to America's identity. It was the new version of it. And that's the twist no one saw coming. Turning Point USA built their so-called protest concert to reclaim patriotism, but in the end, they just proved that America's culture war has become more entertainment than ideology. Their promise to create a show about unity ended up shining a spotlight on how fractured that word has become. Maybe the real halftime performance isn't happening on the field at all. Maybe it's happening online. Every single day, in a comment section that never sleeps. The drama doesn't stop at kickoff anymore, and it lives in our timelines, our debates, and our endless scrolls. So what do you think? Was this a bold stand for patriotism, or just a marketing stunt that spiraled out of control? Drop your thoughts down below. Let's talk about it. And if you made it this far, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a story like this. Stay locked in with Pop Crave Unfiltered, where the gossip never sleeps and the tea never cools.